Ambulance service, is the patient breathing? No, I am the patient, and I know this sounds really stupid. My left arm has gone numb and heavy. So I googled it and it said it could be signs of a stroke. I mean, am I imagining this? We'll get you some help, okay? So we've got an emergency ambulance being arranged.
NHS England's latest campaign highlights the vital importance of recognizing stroke symptoms, urging people to be aware of the symptoms and to call 999 when they notice any one of these signs.
Some callers might think that they're being silly or overreacting, whereas you get, on the other hand, some callers that are really, really scared. It's the scariest time of their life, and they might be really panicking.
My stroke actually happened the night before I called 999. I was told it was a miracle that I had survived that long.
Strokes are the fourth single leading cause of death in the UK, with 30,000 stroke-related deaths each year.
I was so hesitant to dial the emergency services, but I should have made that call as soon as I felt the weakness in my arm.
Stroke symptoms can be less dramatic, less painful, or less obvious than expected, which can lead to a delay in people calling 999. Calling 999 immediately means that a stroke can be diagnosed and treated earlier.
If anyone's experiencing any sort of stroke symptom, it's really important that you just call 999. You should never feel like you're wasting anybody's time or that you're burdening anyone.
Dr. Caleb Watson, who works on the stroke unit in Darren Valley Hospital, tells us more.
This campaign is an NHS campaign, and it's based on data which show that tens of thousands of people who have a stroke could be diagnosed and treated sooner. Researchers found that the average time between onset of first symptoms and a 999 call being made was nearly an hour and a half. So the aim of the campaign is to increase public awareness and knowledge of the signs of a stroke, and encourage people to dial 999 immediately in response to any sign, even if it doesn't seem like much. Because the earlier we're able to recognize symptoms, the quicker we can take action and the faster access we have to treatment and preventing the long-term effects of stroke like disability. Everyone needs to be aware of the signs of a stroke because anyone can have a stroke. It can happen to anyone at any age, but people from a Black background or with existing conditions such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease have an even higher risk. So we can all potentially save lives if we know what to look out for. So the main signs of a stroke are face weakness. So one side of your face may droop and it might be hard to smile. Another sign is arm weakness. So you may not be able to fully lift both arms, and speech problems. So you may slow your words or sound confused. So those are the main signs of a stroke, and any one sign you should call 999 immediately. While symptoms relating to your face, arms and speech are the most common signs of a stroke, there are other signs to be aware of, such as weakness or numbness down one side of your body, blurred vision or loss of sight in one or both eyes, finding it difficult to speak or think of words, confusion and memory loss, feeling dizzy or falling over, a severe headache. So these are other signs that everyone should be aware of.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amos and I'm a GP. I'm hitting the streets to find out just how much the public knows about the early warning sign of stroke.
Are you familiar with any of the signs of stroke? Can you name me one?
Yep, struggling to smile would be one.
Slurring of speech.
Can't lift your arm.
You can't raise your arm.
I think slurred speech is one.
If someone was suddenly struggling to smile, unable to raise their arm, or slurring their speech, what could it be?
That would be the sign of a stroke.
Maybe they're having a stroke.
Yeah, so everyone can have a stroke, but people from Black background are twice as likely to have a stroke than white people. And we're more likely to have a stroke at a younger age. So it's vital that as a community, we know what the signs are. We know 999 immediately if we notice any one of these signs, as it can save lives. One big thing is exercise. So exercising, keeping an active lifestyle reduces your risk of stroke. So there's eating healthily, reducing your salt intake, eating lots of fruit and vegetables reduces your risk of having a stroke. So those are two things that we can do in our day-to-day lives to reduce the risk of a stroke.
What would be the first thing you would do if you noticed one sign of stroke?
I would call 999 immediately.
Call 999 immediately.
So remember, the most common signs of a stroke affect your face, arms, and speech. You may have heard of the acronym FAST. And if you notice any one of those signs, call 999 immediately. For more information, you can visit the NHS website, which gives information on the risk factors, the symptoms, and the treatment of a stroke. So check that out. Thank you.
Face or arm or speech at the first sign, it's time to call 999.